Hey y'all, welcome back to my kitchen. It is kind of late, especially for me to be in the kitchen, and I'm not really feeling all of that well this evening, but there's this recipe, a bean recipe that I really want to try. So I'm gonna push through and make this dish tonight, and I hope that I like it, and I hope that it is well worth the push through. And this is your first time finding me, my name is Toni, and I'm glad that you did. And I like to do various things here, mostly cook and save my money and bring y'all along for the ride. So let me show y'all what I'm trying to do, and then we can get started. So I saw this recipe for something called Harissa butter beans, but I absolutely am not eating anybody's butter beans because they're pretty much just lima beans, and I don't eat lima beans. So I'm going to use these cannellini beans, which I really like. I have my harissa sauce. This is also my first time trying the harissa sauce. I bought it, and that's really why I want to try this recipe, just to see how I like how the harissa sauce cooks up. I think it's like tomatoes and spices and peppers, and I've been really enjoying some heat in my food lately, so I'm really excited to try this harissa sauce. I'm not necessarily following this recipe. I'm gonna link the recipe below, but I'm not exactly following the recipe like it is written because I don't have all of the ingredients from the recipe. So I have some kale, I have onion powder, garlic powder, crushed red pepper, black pepper, salt. The recipe calls for vegetable broth. I don't have vegetable broth, so I'm gonna use water. The recipe did not call for onion powder, but I'm using onion powder because I don't have vegetable broth. So coconut milk. The recipe called for sun-dried tomatoes. I'm using seasoned diced tomatoes because that's what I have. I have a half of a red onion instead of a shallot. I have my garlic, and I have my oil. And then the recipe called for nutritional yeast. I don't know anything about nutritional yeast, so I'm going to use hummus instead because that's what I have, and that's what I'm going to use. I am definitely pushing past my comfort zone with this dish and trying two new things. The harissa sauce definitely is new for me to try. I see it all the time on one of my favorite YouTubers' channel. Her name is Monique, and her channel is Simple Enough, and she uses harissa all of the time. And also cooking with the hummus is also very, very new for me. So I have my beans in here, and I only added half of the amount of harissa sauce because I did taste it and it was very spicy. So I'm adding my coconut milk, I added my water, my garlic powder, and the onion powder. And what I'm going to do is just let this simmer down, and then also add in the fire roasted tomatoes and try to let all of these flavors marry. I did add a little bit more garlic powder because it's garlic powder, and I love garlic powder. I felt it needed a little bit more. A pinch of salt. I try not to cook with too much salt, but this was a perfect amount of salt. It definitely was the right decision to not use all of this harissa sauce. I don't know who Harissa is, but Harissa is hot. Hot. I don't think I'm even gonna use the red pepper flakes because this is spicy. I think they come in different levels of heat, and this is not the mild one. These have been simmering for about 20 minutes, and a lot of the moisture has evaporated. I added the kale and the hummus, and I did add about a quarter cup of water back into these beans and let them simmer for another 10 minutes. All right, y'all, so my tripod just broke, and if I move it, it's gonna completely fall apart. So I'm gonna have to show y'all how this came out like this, which I think is better. This looks so good. All right, so the person that I saw make this, she just sopped it up in with a piece of sourdough bread. So I'm gonna try that. And I'll also link that video in the description so you can see what she did, what substitutes I made. I don't think this is gonna work. Okay, hold on. Oh, I gotta do it like this. Oh my God. This is so good. You have to eat it with the sourdough bread. Definitely a good choice to leave out the red pepper flakes because Harissa, the Harissa sauce is definitely very spicy, the one that I got, but this is delicious. This is really good. I tasted the beans before the kale, and then with the kale just adds such a unique flavor. The hummus adds kind of like a richness because I don't know what the nutritional yeast would have done, but the hummus definitely did this justice. I'm feeling better. This is really good. If you watch my channel, or even if this is your first time watching my channel, if you do not try anything else, you need to try this. And I think you can use any white bean that you like. The recipe that I'm gonna link called for butter beans. I don't eat those. The cannellini beans, great substitute. Great northern beans would be great with these as well. All right, y'all. That's gonna do it for me. Thank y'all for hanging in there with me this evening while I work through and push through some feelings and some emotions and some tiredness. I'm really happy that I did. I'll see y'all next time on Toni Out Loud when I am doing something else. And hopefully it's as delicious as this real meal right here.